Hey, I'm Johnny. This is 5 signs it's time for the INFJ door slam. Stay tuned. Okay, you guys, before we jump into the video, there's a couple quick things I need to say. They're very important. Alright, so first of all, this video assumes that you at least have a basic understanding of what the INFJ door slam is. Chances are good if you're watching this video, you've been thinking about a door slam for some time. There could be many more reasons or signs that it's time for an INFJ door slam besides just the ones that we're going to cover. These are just the 5 that came to mind today and the ones that I feel are very important. And as I always like to say in my videos, this is open discussion. There are no right or wrong answers. I'm just sharing my perspective from one INFJ to another, so please feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments. The second thing I'll say is if you're depressed and or if you're in a relationship right now that is not safe, please seek help as soon as possible. This video is not a substitute for therapy. I'm not a licensed therapist. Again, I'm just sharing my perspective to you from one INFJ to another. Alright, the first sign that it's time for the INFJ door slam, and this might be the most obvious one, and yet I think for a lot of INFJs, it can be often overlooked. I've overlooked this in the past. It's that your intuition is telling you that it's time for one. Now hang on a second, okay? Just because an INFJ's intuition is telling them that it is time for the INFJ door slam doesn't mean that they'll listen to their intuition. And we're going to get into some of the other signs in this video of how that ties into reason number 1. But basically, you are a dominant intuitive INFJ. Your dominant cognitive function is introverted intuition. You're very good at seeing patterns, especially in a relationship, whether good or bad. You're good at that. Is your intuition telling you that it is time for the INFJ door slam? The very fact that you found this video is possibly good evidence that you already know intuitively. Your insight is already telling you that it's time for the door slam. You just, for whatever reason, haven't done the door slam yet, right? I'm hoping that the other 4 signs in this video might help you come to a conclusion as to whether or not it's time. But INFJ, the first sign that it's time for the INFJ door slam is if your gut, your instinct, your intuition, your introverted intuition, your dominant cognitive function is telling you that it is time for an INFJ door slam. I can't tell you whether or not to door slam. That's a decision only you can make. But from one INFJ to another, I can tell you, trust your intuition. You're a dominant intuitive. It's your strongest function. The second sign that it's time for the INFJ door slam is that your boundaries have been repeatedly violated. Your auxiliary cognitive function of extroverted feeling is all about the emotional climate of others. It's about the feelings of other people. It's about an awareness of the emotional climate. But it's also about you, INFJ, okay? You can set boundaries. Healthy boundaries is a sign of appropriate use of extroverted feeling. Now, it's possible that your boundaries up to this point in the relationship have not been good. If that's the case, forgive yourself. Today's a brand new day. But if you're setting boundaries, you're saying no, you've told this person you need time repeatedly, whatever the situation is that has required you to have to set your boundaries, if this individual is repeatedly violating them and shows no signs of stopping, that's an excellent sign that it's time for the INFJ door slam. My mom always used to say you can't reason with an unreasonable person. Is this person being reasonable? That's a good question. Are they being reasonable? Are they being unreasonable? It's unreasonable to violate someone's boundaries. Now, if you haven't spoken up about your boundaries, if you haven't asserted yourself, then it might be time to do that. But if you have set boundaries and the person is blatantly disregarding them, that's a good sign that it's time for the INFJ door slam. But again, only you can make that decision. The third sign that it's time for the INFJ door slam is that your friends, your family, and or your coworkers have noticed a change, a negative change in you recently, and they have mentioned that to you. Again, as a dominant intuitive, you notice patterns. So INFJ, are you noticing a pattern of people in your life who are bringing this up? Johnny, you seem down. You seem sad. Is something wrong? Is something bothering you? Have one or more people recently told you that? Well, if other people are seeing this in you, that could be an excellent sign that it's time for the INFJ door slam. Because here's the thing, you guys, okay? INFJs, not always, but very often, INFJs have a difficult time telling what they themselves are feeling. It's really easy for us to tell what other people are feeling. You know, we can scan a room and we can look over there and that guy's happy and that guy's sad and this person's angry, etc. But when it comes to our own feelings, a lot of times we can struggle. Now, of course, there are other reasons why you might be sad or depressed unrelated to a relationship. So in this case, check it out. If reasons number 1 and 2 are in place, right? If number 1, your intuition's telling you it's time for the door slam, and if number 2, your boundaries have been repeatedly violated, well, maybe in this case of number 3, you could reach out to a friend and or a coworker and ask them, have you noticed any change in me? And if multiple people have told you this recently, that could be strong indication that it's time for the INFJ door slam in the relationship that you're in with a person. Again, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm saying this is often a very good indication. A fourth reason it's time for the INFJ door slam is that as of late, you've become self-destructive. INFJs have repressed or inferior extroverted sensing, and some of you may have heard of the extroverted sensing grip or the SE grip. A lot of times when an INFJ is under stress, they will indulge in or engage in their extroverted sensing function in an unhealthy way. This could manifest in a variety of different ways that are unhealthy. Drinking too much alcohol, eating too much food. I've been guilty of that one. There are a lot of different ways that an INFJ can become overly stressed. Now, if you're an otherwise healthy INFJ and you've been taking care of yourself, your self-care routine has been pretty good, you haven't been particularly depressed, but as of lately, you have found yourself engaging in this SE grip, or you've just noticed a pattern that you've become more self-destructive recently, and the self-destructive behavior happens to coincide with a recent interaction that you've had with this person in a relationship, whatever relationship you're in. If you're acting self-destructive within a short time of the period that you were around that person, that is an excellent sign that it might be time for an INFJ door slam. Now, I will be quick to say that if you take individually these signs, it does not necessarily mean that you should door slam. And I am all in favor of being tolerant and being forgiving of someone if they're making an effort, if they're trying in the relationship, okay? INFJs are usually often tolerant and forgiving individuals anyway. A lot of times to our own detriment because we can be too forgiving, right? What I'm saying is just one of these signs is not necessarily time that it's time to go and do a door slam. But when multiple signs, right, are occurring simultaneously, that's an even stronger indication. Like I'd say if 3 or more of the signs on this list are like obviously like bam, this is happening, that's a really good indication that it might be time for a door slam, but I can't tell you what to do. It's up to you to make that decision. But ask yourself, have I become more self-destructive lately? Am I engaging, am I locked in an SE grip? Am I doing SE activities in an unhealthy way? Is it happening right around the time I'm around this person or having recently seen them or spent a lot of time with them? That's a sign it might be time for that INFJ door slam. And the fifth sign that it's time for the INFJ door slam is that you have lost respect for this person and or you have just become empty or numb to them inside. All right? So one of the hallmark symptoms or traits of an INFJ door slam is not necessarily that the INFJ harbors any ill will or any hostility or anger towards the individual, but rather when we door slam someone, we just feel empty to them. There's nothing there. It's like this dark void, right, of indifference, and we're numb. It's like we've been hurt so many times, we just don't feel for that person. It's not that we hate them, it's just that there is nothing there. It's empty. Hey guys, at the end of this video, I'll put an end screen up for another video that I did about the door slam where I talk about my experience and just the numbness and the emptiness that I felt inside as a result of a door slam. Please make sure to check that video out after this one. But a good sign that it's time for the INFJ door slam, you feel empty or numb or indifferent to this person and you've lost respect for them. The fifth reason for me personally, and I'm not telling you what to do, but for me, the fifth reason is enough alone in and of itself to get out of a relationship because I don't want to be in a relationship with someone where there's no chemistry, there's no love, and I've lost respect for them. If I've lost respect for someone and yet I don't have the fortitude to get out of the relationship myself, not only am I violating my boundaries, not only am I not listening to my intuition, but it's a waste of my time and the other person's time. And this is a way of maintaining my own dignity and self-respect, but also honoring the basic humanity of the other individual. In most cases, I don't think that the INFJ way is harboring malice, okay? There's an old saying that forgiveness helps the forgiver. okay? INFJ, if you're in a relationship with a person and you're angry, I completely understand, all right? And it's up to you whether or not you choose to hold on to that anger. I would be fascinated to know in the comments what your 5 signs or your 5 reasons are. Tell me about a recent INFJ door slam experience you've had. I want to know in the comments. I always read the comments and I greatly value your feedback. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out and subscribe to the channel for more future content. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video.